What up, what up, what up? This is Mike the Philosopher here with another one, y'all. This one is everyone is telling me not to marry you. Okay, you a scrub. Okay. Now, this is part one of a series. So we're going to get into part two also. But let's start off with part one and see how things turn out. I have not seen this before. Without further ado, let's go in.
Your Honor, this is the case of Perkins versus Weisberg.
Thank you very much. Ms. Perkins and Mr. Weisberg. Ms. Perkins, you say you're here today because marriage is extremely important to you. You say you're ready to get married, but you don't think your partner is ready to do the same. Now you're at a crossroads.
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Weisberg, you say you're here today to convince your fiance that she's wrong. You say marrying Ms. Perkins is your top priority and you intend to prove that to her today.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, but Ms. Perkins, you're 21 years old. You've been together for 4 years and living together, engaged for 6.
Just initial thoughts, man. She's a cutie. She's really a cutie. At 21 years old, I got her whole life ahead of her. Let's see how this turns out.
6 months. Why is it important to you to be married?
This is just really important for me to have a great marriage and be married because I haven't seen many marriages in my family, you know? I want to break those generational curses and I want to be able to provide my children with a beautiful marriage to see when I have some of my own. So it's very important that I have a beautiful marriage with me and Daniel, Mr. Weisberg.
So you want a husband, not a baby's father.
Exactly. I want a husband. I'm not having any kids without a husband. Definitely.
I understand exactly what you're saying, Mr. Weisberg. Ms. Perkins has laid out exactly what she's looking for.
Your Honor, I love this woman. I truly love this woman with all of my heart. I'd do anything for her. There's certain things that I feel that she does that reflects on past situations that have already been dealt with. There's certain insecurities that I feel like she shows that kind of, in my opinion, push back what could be a very long and forever lasting future. But I don't want it to ever get confused. I love this woman. I want everything to work out the way it should. I just think that I love her. I just want everything to work.
So it's very clear to me that both of you say that there's love in this relationship, but Ms. Perkins, for some reason, you are in divorce court. So clearly there have been some red flags. Why don't you tell me about
Yes, there have been so many red flags. And with that being said, I do love Daniel, and he doesn't treat me like the wife I should be. And if he doesn't continue to try to make this work, then I will be gone. Our original red flags that happened, I'm on social media, and my big thing is, I wanted everybody to know that he's my man. Mr. Weisberg is my man. And I posted a picture of us up together.
Everybody does that.
Exactly. So with that being said, like I said, I love being on Instagram. I like showing my life. I posted a picture of us together.
How long ago?
This was probably in the first year, actually, of us being together. So
okay.
The first year of us being together.
I'm always a little skeptical of women who love showing their life on Instagram. Especially your personal life, when you start showing that, you are putting yourself, you make the public a part of your business, because now you got people who got opinions and they're gonna say yay or nay or whatever on whatever you're doing. I'm not saying that you have to listen to them, but social media is a drug. Let's be clear. Social media is a drug. You can get addicted to the social media life. And not only that, social media has ruined a lot of relationships. It is probably one of the most damaging things for a relationship is social media. And in a lot of ways. Sometimes it could tell some truths that you don't want to know. Sometimes it could open up more options that you don't need. Okay? A woman can have all kind of dudes in her DMs. As soon as you get in an argument with her, then she start answering some of these DMs. You know, it happens. I got a broad experience of life. I know. Okay, social media is, some called it the devil, because it can really ruin relationships. And you know, somebody like KS, he said that, you know, he don't like a woman who has a desire to be on social media that much. And I was thinking the same thing. Social media ruined one of my relationships. So I always had that mentality too, that I don't like a chick who is on social media for attention. If they're on social media to share certain things like recipes or, you know, experiences, I'm not against that so much. But when you need attention and you just showing pics and photos and your outfits, and you know, just thirst trapping, that's when I have a problem with social media. That tells me you're screaming for attention. And the second that you feel like, even if it's not true, the second you feel like you ain't getting it from your man, you're gonna seek it from other men, and you need their validation. So I know she's on social media a lot, but I don't really rock with that part. Anyway, let's go in.
When I was at home, took a picture, posted it, want everybody to see us together. Next thing you know, randomly, a woman comments underneath and she says LOL, which was baffling to me because if it's me, what's funny? So I made sure to go DM this woman and I said, you know, what's funny? She responds back to me. She tells me that her and Daniel are together and they've been in a relationship, and that's what's funny this whole time.
Hold on.
So no, let me finish.
I would like her to at least
Please.
finish what the allegation is.
Thank you. She said that her and Daniel have been together this whole time. And I brought that situation up to Daniel, and he tells me it was someone from his past when he let me know there was no baggage originally when we started dating.
So did you start dating him when you, 17 or 18?
I started dating him actually when I was probably 19. We knew each other because he's in the rapping industry and I'm a
I got it.
model.
So 19, around 18, 19 years old.
Yeah, speaking around that time.
Okay. From now, let me ask the real question. When's the last, how long have you all been in a serious, monogamous, intimate relationship?
We've been in a serious monogamous relationship for almost 2 full years.
I'd say 2 years.
And is that when you posted the That's My
Yes.
Man picture? Was that after you both had committed to a serious,
Yes.
monogamous relationship?
Serious monogamous
mess?
relationship.
So now I'm gonna come over to you, Mr. Weisberg.
Okay, so going back to what I said before about certain insecurities and past things, I've let you know multiple times that she's like we have a certain trust that we have.
No, we don't
Matter
have
of
no
fact,
trust yet.
right, matter of fact, let me
Stop. We don't have any trust yet. I
Okay.
haven't established that there's been trust.
Okay.
Ms. Perkins has made a claim
Right.
that a young lady said to her that she was in a relationship with you after the time that we have all agreed was the time you all had committed to an intimate monogamous relationship.
Right.
What do you say to those allegations?
So first of all, I've let her know about this woman. We're not in a relationship. Her and I had a bad breakup, and she has been on my profile. She's been acting bitter, commenting on things. And
When did you break up with this lady?
a couple years ago, a few years ago.
You said two.
A few years ago,
Two.
before we became committed.
Right, that's
And
why
I-
I'm
and I
coming to you, Mr. Weisberg.
Right.
Did you break up with this woman prior to the time you committed to Miss Perkins?
Absolutely prior. Absolutely prior, 100%.
2 years before.
Did you have intimate contact with this woman from the time you committed to Miss Perkins?
Not once. Not once. And I've explained to her that I have no sort of contact or anything with this woman. This woman's just on my social media.
I'm about to go into it again.
Now let me say this. Ladies, this is from a male perspective, okay? You don't understand. You don't understand the bitterness of women. Okay, you should understand because some of you are bitter. I mean, it just is what it is. I love you, but some of you are bitter. I believe the brother had an ex, and she threw salt in the game by saying they were in a relationship. Happens all the time. If they not with you, they're gonna sprinkle salt on your current situation. Now his ex probably don't look as good as his model fiance now. So of course she's going to be a little jay by this whole situation. I wouldn't be surprised if he broke up with her to get with Jaslyn. Okay, I would not be surprised by that at all. He broke up, so it was still fresh to his ex-girl, but he was with Jaslyn, and he said, I'm gonna rock out with her because she finer, and she got her head on straight, and she is she's wifey material. I would not be surprised if the ex tried to throw salt in that game. But what I find fascinating is that women don't know how vindictive other women can be. Y'all don't know? You should know the nature of a woman. Y'all are women. You know she's going to throw salt in the game. So, like, I can understand the initial shock. Like, wait a minute. What do you mean y'all in a relationship? You know, this, that, and the third. I can understand that. But then you got to step back and say, wait a minute. Is she trying to mess up what we got? Because I know women can be very vindictive. She must be trying to mess up what we got. And for whatever reason, women mind don't take that second step. You just automatically think that every woman is telling you the truth. This is the problem. Women always think all women are telling the truth all the time. They are not. You mean to tell me there are no liars among the female species? Give me a break. Okay, you got to know that some women are gonna lie. And who ended up getting the worst end of the deal? A lot of the men. Why? Because they have bitter exes. I know all about it. Again, broad range of experience in life. I know all about bitter exes. Happens all the time. Let's go back in.
The moment Miss Perkins was contacted by this lady or commented on her social media, did that woman have any reason to believe that you all were still in a relationship?
No, not at all.
Had you been calling her or texting her or DMing her on social media?
Not only have I not called or texted or DM'd her, but I've told her in the past, can I speak?
Yes, you may.
Not only have I told her and DM'd her and let her know in the past that it's over, but I've made no, when I told her, I made it very clear, we're not
So why
together
would she
anymore.
say
I'm
you
not
guys are in a
interested.
But wait a
relationship?
minute, wait 1 second. We're gonna let Mr. Weisberg win on this one.
Yeah.
Miss Perkins, let me just say this.
Yes.
Do you know this lady?
No, I've never
So
seen
stop
this lady.
talking. Stop talking. You don't know this lady? Why would you trust this hoochie over your man? I just need to know that.
That's a great
Why would you trust
question,
somebody you don't
Judge.
know over him?
Great
Because I just
question.
asked all the pertinent questions.
Again, I was getting these random calls.
Got it.
I got random calls coming through my phone all throughout the night, 3 a.m. in the
Random
morning.
calls from women?
No, just random numbers. Originally, I didn't answer it. So
Okay.
I ended up answering up the call, and next thing you know, it's a debt collector, and they're calling me, and I'm looking like, who are you calling for? They said Daniel Weisberg. So I just hung up the phone and called him because it didn't make any sense. Why is a debt collector calling my phone?
Did he say or do anything with this woman prior to her contacting you and throwing a monkey wrench in your relationship? Did you have any indication? You see any text messages, any missed phone calls, any voicemails? Did
No,
you
Your
see any of that?
No, Your Honor, I did not see any of that.
Just the social media part.
I didn't see any of that.
So you know how girls do.
Come on.
Yeah, you're right.
Folks
You're right.
rolling up on you because you happy.
Come on.
And you cute. And you young.
I was happy. I was.
Stop.
I was. It's just a lot of different things that's going on.
But I'm
in
gonna
this,
get to the
Your
rest
Honor.
of them. But on this particular thing, because let me tell you something. Establishing that initial trust, that word, that's that foundation. Then you start putting seeds in the ground for growth. You want to be married, but that's what you got to do. You got to start that foundation. So now that's a red flag, but we have now fixed that one. What else you got?
Well, next I'd like to say, again, I was getting these random calls.
Got it.
I got random calls coming through my phone. I'm at work, I'm at home.
Random calls from women?
No, just random numbers. Originally, I didn't answer it. So
Okay.
I ended up answering up the call, and next thing you know, it's a debt collector, and they're calling me, and I'm looking like, who are you calling for? They said Daniel Weisberg. So I just hung up the phone and called him because it didn't make any sense. Why is a debt collector calling my phone? And when I brought that up to him, he said that they needed a secondary number. But regardless, why are you I don't care if they need 2,000 numbers, to be completely honest. Why are you putting my phone number on something like that? I don't know anybody any money. I don't owe anybody any money. And at this time, you didn't tell me that you did that at all. He didn't tell me anything like that. So these callers and these numbers have been coming at all throughout the night, 3 a.m. in the morning.
Right.
I'm tired. I'm getting ready for work. I have a business of my own. So why am I sitting up here getting these phone calls? It doesn't make any sense to me.
It's a bit of a reach. They don't call you all times of
They
the
do.
night.
Do you know
I don't
what
care
time
if it
debt
calls
collectors
twice
come?
in a day or once in a day.
Yeah.
Why did you use her
Okay.
phone number as a secondary number without her permission?
Okay, I'll tell you. Can I start from the beginning, Your Honor? So, when I first got out a loan, I was getting some music studio equipment. You know, I'm an artist, so
I already know that.
I got studio equipment.
That's unnecessary.
Prior to knowing you, prior to dating you, well, I would say. And then they would call me, and then they told me that they didn't have the ability to always reach me. So what did I do? I gave them the other person that I live with's phone number. I never had any intention on you paying the bills. It's simply just somebody being able to contact
But
somebody.
wait a minute, why can't, excuse me, that's one thing I know about bill collectors.
Okay.
They know how to find you.
Okay.
They want to find you, they can find you. So is it they couldn't find you or you were avoiding them? That's
Not-
all I want to know.
Okay, so, all right, so I'll explain that. So there'll be times where I'm doing things or in the studio. I have a history of my phone being dead a lot. I have a history of getting my phone
why is your
left in
phone dead all the
studios
time?
or just wherever I'm at.
You're lying. I'm sorry.
He went out with his friends. We share each other's location. They end up going out to a club or to dinner or something like that. I pop up. I don't mind. I pop up. I'm the type to pop up. So we get there. I get inside the restaurant. I'm looking for him. And as soon as I walk in, there's somebody sitting on his lap.
Stop
Wait,
it.
you walk into a restaurant and there's a woman sitting on his
Yes.
lap.
Come on now.
I don't know how you're going to explain that, bruh. How you going to explain another woman on your lap? You know, as far as the bill collector, I think the bill collector thing, no, he shouldn't have gave the bill collector his girl's number. I understand why he did it. Just, he probably figured she was going to be around him. So if he have a bad history of his phone going out, which is sketchy, it's all sketchy. But these are problems they're gonna have if they get married, for sure. Same thing is gonna happen. I mean, you know, once you become his wife, what do you expect him to do? He's gonna give your name to bill collectors. I mean, this is a taste of marriage. I'm not saying that they there yet, or he should have done that. He shouldn't have done that. That's not something you do unless you're married. But as far as the lady sitting on his lap, let's hear if he got an explanation. Let's go in.
Thank you.
I don't know you from a hole in the ground, but you lying on this.
I promise you.
No,
I'm not.
you lying, and
I
you look
promise
me in
you.
the face and you lying. Because, listen, I have not always had $3.50 to rub together. And I remember what it's like to avoid bill collectors. Baby, when I got out of law school, my first job paid $23,500. $23,500. I thought I was making $1 billion. I got more credit card debt. I was stupid. I made real stupid choices. So I know somebody avoiding debt collector when I looked them in the face. So don't lie to me.
Can I explain? Can I back that up, Your Honor, please?
Okay, go ahead.
I've answered the phone to them many of times.
But did you
It's
pay the
not
bill?
It's not like
So
it's
why are they
always.
calling me?
But did you pay the bill?
I didn't pay the bill at the time.
Okay, now that's why they call.
I didn't.
Right, don't
I didn't
call
pay the bill
me,
at the time.
though.
However, I will say.
I pay my bills.
But if I never intended on you paying the bill and I was simply just giving a number because is that not me being responsible if I know that I'm at areas or
Pay the
working in
bill.
certain areas
No, being
where I can't-
responsible is paying the bill.
That's
That
true.
was me.
That's true. But if while I'm getting the money because when I get paid and
I know, but don't put that on her. She's 21 years old. That's not her business.
Not trying to put it on her.
But you are putting it on her. Mr. Weisberg,
Okay.
somebody need to call you on your bull. You are putting it on her. Don't put her phone number down
Thank you.
for your financial obligations until y'all have made some sort of arrangement as a husband to a wife. Until you are committed to her as a husband and a wife, then you don't put financial obligations on this young lady's shoulder.
And we
That's
have-
just that. Sorry, sir.
I thought it would be okay
Can
to
we
have an
stop him, Your
emergency
Honor?
contact.
That's not an emergency contact. Bill collectors don't ask for emergency contacts. Healthcare practitioners ask for emergency contact. When you go to get your teeth extracted and they're gonna give you some Novocaine, they ask if somebody else gonna pick you up. Can we have a number?
Right.
Bill.
I think, here's what I think. I think the brother got tired of the bill collectors calling him. He got tired of them, like, oh man, I gotta deal with them all the time. Let me just give them another number to call so I don't have to keep answering their calls. I know they want their money, but I ain't got time for this. Let me let my woman pick this up and she deal with these dudes. I'm tired of talking to them. No, I'm not paying the bill, but I don't want to hear or I don't want to have them ringing my phone all the time. I'm trying to, cut albums. And, that happens. You get tired of bill collectors calling you. So you just say, look, I'm gonna let my spouse handle this. Sometimes women do it with men. They'll be like, you can have my man's number. I don't want to have to deal with this. So I think that's probably what he did. He probably changed the phone number on his account and put her number in there. That way he didn't have to deal with it and talk to these bill collectors. So let's go back in.
Collectors don't ask for emergency contact. They ask for somebody who's gonna be responsible for that bill if your behind don't pay it.
Okay.
Okay? So don't put that on that young girl. That's just wrong.
Okay.
That's just wrong. I'm sensitive about that.
Okay.
Because you just starting out in your life.
Thank you.
Okay? What else you got? Red flag. That one's one. You won the first one.
And
this one?
it's the trust issues. And then when we bring it back to the trust issues of me, I don't trust this man for anything. So that first thing, let me tell you, the big reason why I had that first issue that you won, it doesn't make any sense to me anyways. He went out, of course, I let him go out. I don't mind him going out because, again, I stay at home. I do what I have to do. He goes out with his friends. We share each other's location. And you would think sharing each other's location means I trust you more. And I wanted to give him my location. He gave me his. They end up going out to a club or to dinner or something like that. And I'm calling his phone. I'm looking for him. I miss him. I'm ready for him to come home. It's getting late and everything. He still hasn't answered the phone. He's not picking up his phone at all. I pop up. I don't mind. I pop up. I'm the type to pop up. So I came up to the restaurant just to check in, see what he's doing. Is he okay? Because if you're not answering your phone, how am I supposed to know that you're good? So we get there. I get inside the restaurant. I'm looking for him. And as soon as I walk in, there's somebody sitting on his lap.
Ooh.
I don't know who this woman is.
Wait.
Man,
Yeah.
Stop it.
Sitting
Stop
on his
it.
lap.
Stop
It doesn't, no, sitting on your lap.
Stop
Wait,
it.
you walk into a restaurant and there's a woman sitting on his
Yes.
lap.
Come on now. Come on now.
Yes, no, come on now. There's a woman sitting
What
on his
happened?
lap.
One moment, you're definitely gonna get a chance to
I come
say
in,
something.
and I'm already flabbergasted about whatever's going on. So I walk up in there. As soon as we make eye contact, as soon as he sees me, he walks straight up to the bar. He's gone instantly. He gets up, he walks to the bar.
Wait, so the woman is on his lap.
Yes, he moves the woman up and takes himself to the bar to go get something to drink, which doesn't make any sense to me, because why you running if it's not nothing, right? So we take ourselves over there. I'm coming to ask him, I'm saying, what's going on? Why was this woman on your lap? And he tells me, oh, it's innocent. It's nothing. How about I go sit on somebody's lap? Let's go choose one of your friends, and then I'll go sit there and we can all have dinner and brunch and lunch
All
together.
right. First and foremost, I'm gonna reply to each thing.
Yep, Mr. Weisberg, go ahead.
Okay, thank you.
This
Your
should be
Honor.
good, y'all.
I'm gonna reply to each thing. First and foremost, if I gave you my location, why would I do so? And I know you the type to pop up, and that's actually been a problem because you've done it with more than one occasion. So if we have our locations and I tell you I'm going out and I know you're the type to pop up, why would I be doing things that I know would make me look
But wait,
guilty?
Miss Perkins, let's really more about that part because it's so interesting. In journalism, I learned very early on, don't bury the lead. You just buried the lead. You worried about why, the location, and who you shared. The lead was there was a woman that was not her sitting on your lap.
Let me say this. Listen, I trust to a certain degree. I trust if I choose a woman, I'm gonna trust her, and I'm going to expect her to trust me. But this whole electronic leash stuff, for the birds, man. You ain't got to be sharing GPS and locations on Facebook and Google and all this other stuff. Why you need to track where I'm at? Maybe I'm old school with it, you know what I mean? But all this electronic tracking devices and you know, locators, nah, I ain't rocking with that. As a matter of fact, I don't even want to know where you at. Just no to the tracking devices. I don't need that much of a leash on me, and I don't need you to have a leash on you. If trust is an issue, I can understand why it's being done, but shouldn't be trust issues, right? Shouldn't be trust issues. Only way I see that being helpful is if the man or the woman has messed up a whole ton and they're trying to prove that they are a changed person. And they say, okay, look, I cheated on you a couple times. You know, had that threesome over last week. That was fun, but never mind that. I'm over that, right? And to show good faith, I am going to allow you to track me. Okay, we'll share tracking devices, and we can in GPS, so that you know exactly where I'm at all times. That if you're in the doghouse, that's the only reason I see GPS being helpful, because it can bring back the trust in a relationship. If you see where your partner is and you know where they're going. But other than that, man, if your relationship is cool and steady and this, that, and the third, nah, man, that's just way too much. It's doing too much, in my opinion. Let's go back in.
In journalism, I learned very early on, don't bury the lead. You just buried the lead. You worried about why, the location, and who you shared. The lead was there was a woman that was not her sitting on your lap. You're supposed to lead with that, because that's what you need to figure out.
Okay.
So, sir, answer that.
Okay, we were out with our friends. It was a bunch of drunk people. It was some drunk women that came up to our table, and I wasn't paying them no mind. One of them sat on my lap. You happened to come up. I guess at the time that it happened, I got her off, not because I saw you, but because I don't want a woman sitting on my lap.
Right.
I go to the bar because that's what people do at restaurants.
Excuse me.
They go to a bar.
So, wait a minute.
Come on now.
I have to imagine you come to the restaurant and the woman was already on his lap?
Yes, already sitting there, which is
and
confusing
wait, and
to
how long does it take for you to realize that this woman is sitting on his lap?
2 seconds. I can point out my man real quick. It don't take too long.
But see, that...
Real fast.
Wait, so are you telling me that Mr. Weisberg is seated in a social group and another woman is sitting on his lap?
Embarrassing, right? Embarrassing. You just have me out here looking so silly.
Mr. Weisberg.
Your Honor.
There is never a good reason to have another woman sitting on your lap unless she is 4 years old. And your daughter.
Next time on Divorce Court.
You don't trust him. And I'm glad that your sister has joined you today. Miss White, join your sister at the plaintiff's table for me. What's your relationship?
So there you have it with part 1 of this Everybody's Telling Me Not to Marry You series. What do y'all think about this? Is the guy untrustworthy? Do it sound like he lying? Do you think that she is a bit too much, over exaggerating, taking things out of context? Tell me what you think. Do you think the judge has any bias in the female or the male? I'd be interested to know what y'all think of this part 1. And trust and believe part 2 is coming up right after this. All that being said, hit the like, hit the share, hit the subscribe, okay? We're gonna get into it, y'all. We're gonna get into it. I appreciate you watching this with me. I will catch you in the next one. Peace.